Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Speed, for round one of the 2021 Season 2 Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship. I am your host tonight, Carlin Hicks, as we are preparing for the wildest ride in motorsports, 240-mile-per-hour IndyCars around the 31-degree high banks of Daytona International Speedway here in the traditional Flux American Tour opening weekend at Daytona. Last night we saw the American Sports Car Championship running with the GTEs. Get myself out of the way here. Get our map set up, and we'll show you some speedo here later on as we are beginning the 20-minute qualifying session here at Daytona. We will be under the lights here tonight at the 2.5-mile super speedway. The inaugural season last season of the Flux IndyCar Championship was a terrific show. We saw OGR Cat Guy take the championship, taking 4 wins out of 7 races. But this is the first time we've run these cars here at Daytona in Flux Motorsport. Many of the veterans here from previous organizations have run this race for many seasons. Muttley's a 2-time winner of those. I know Pogo and O'Brien have also won here in these cars, but this is a whole new test here in Flux Motorsport. We've got a few greenhorns here in the Indy cars out here tonight, looking to make their name. We'll run through some of them here shortly. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get myself here on my docks, run through who we got out on the track. Cat Guy hasn't got out on the track yet. So you're looking at O'Brien in the number 3 Pennzoil Chevrolet. O'Brien ran a part-time schedule last season in the Indy cars. I believe he did have 1 fastest lap. Made 2 starts on the season, scoring 11 points, but we are looking forward to him being a legit full-time driver. See who is that he is running with. But not Muttley, it might be. Yep, Jiggly Jello and O'Brien apparently have hooked up. Here at Daytona, it is all about the draft and the slipstream on the 2.5-mile high banks, and right there you're looking at O'Brien and Jiggly Jello. Jiggly Jello, a name that we'll be talking about there in the number 20 Ed Carpenter Chevy Dallara. Jiggly was 4th in the championship last season, taking home a single podium finish, but he was very consistent. He was very consistent throughout the season, finishing up in the top 5, top 6, and was able to end up with that 4th place finish. I know he wants to better that, and I think he is a championship contender this season, as they are locking up and at the moment pulling some pretty fast laps. Let's take a look at the defending series champion in the number 61 PureTech Dallara Chevrolet. OGR Cat Guy took 4 wins from 7 races in the inaugural Flux IndyCar Championship last season. Just a dominating performance. Cat Guy, a veteran driver in these cars, and give us a chance to talk about the Indy cars. For those of you not familiar with them, they are in essence a Formula car. However, the Indy cars, chassis-wise, are a spec package. It's a Dallara made by the Italian company, manufactured in Indianapolis, Indiana. Each team gets a Dallara, and then they have the choice of the Chevy or Honda motor package, the Chevy or Honda engine package that they get to go with. So everyone's in a Dallara. You'll hear me refer to the car as a Honda or a Chevy car. Powers are the same, but guys have certain preferences. And as Cat Guy's going around, he's lapping by himself. We'll take a look inside the cockpit of that Dallara Chevy, and you can see the track here, and I'll pull up the speedo. This is without the draft, even though it is in qualifying trim, which is faster. He's easily hitting 240 miles per hour as you're going through the 31 degrees of banking. You got to watch for the bumpiness. As you can see, the car moves around, and then the stagger sets you off, as right there, Cat Guy's going to slow it down. He's probably looking to catch on to a drafting partner. As you get back up in the banking, centrifugal force wants to throw you up a little bit, and the key right here is not to oversteer. Right there, you can see just the slightest bit of oversteer on the back end of Cat Guy's car, but he's running solo right now, and so that lap time is not going to reflect. Daytona is the one place where qualifying may matter the least, and we'll check speedos here later on as well. Back to our trackside cam, as we've got a group of cars running together right here. That appears to be Muttley in the 22 Menards car on the tail of It's Your Boy Squash. Squash, I believe, best gamer, I believe you're looking at the 7th place driver in the championship. They can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe best gamer is his Discord handle. And he ended up 7th in the championship. Did not get on the podium, but he too had a solid season. And another guy that we're looking for big things from this season, as these three, himself, Muttley in the 22 car at the back, they are going by someone as right there. Oh, and a big crash here in qualifying. Muttley going up on his roof coming out of turn 2. It looks like It's Your Boy Squash caught the wall, and that's the kind of wrecks we can see if things go wrong here at Daytona tonight. We could be spending a lot of time behind the pace car under the yellow with the full course caution rules out here. Another pack of 3 Pogo Mojo. Looks to be with Haynes' dad, and is that Taijo? Yeah, all 3 of them. Let's take a look at Haynes' dad in the 83. We will get on board the chase cam with him in the 83 Chevrolet. Haynes' dad, I believe, made a start or 2 towards the end of last season. I don't have, yes he did. He had 27 points, was 16th in the championship. We are looking forward to seeing him in a full-time ride. He is a experienced oval track racer. We're hoping to see him in the stock car exhibitions on Sunday as well, as he's got a shot here to do some surprising things. He had a very good run going as he heads into the pits, deciding to make some changes. He had a very good run going at Texas in the season finale last season before damage took him out and put him laps down. Back on O'Brien in the number 3. Is that Cat Guy he's got with him now? Yes, it is. Cat Guy and O'Brien, 2 longtime veterans. These guys have pulled a lot of laps in these cars at this place together. And 2 of the definite both championship front runners and race front runners here on the Flux American Tour. As these 2 are hooking up here, going for the draft, let's get a ride along with Cat Guy here while these guys are drafting from the cockpit, as you can try to see what he's doing. And the best thing here is to show you on the speedo what we might see. Let's jump back to O'Brien then, if he's going to be in the trailing car. We're going to see he's back on the full throttle as he's trying to pick the draft back up. You can see the speed right there on the telemetry, 243, 244 miles per hour. And these 2 are still a little off the pace. But as we said, this is Daytona. It's going to come down to a pack race. We expect these cars, depending on the number of cautions, to run somewhere in the region of 135 to 150 miles, which would be 50 to 60 laps, give or take. Ooh, Cat Guy hitting the wall, and he's going to go around there. He's going to go around onto his roof. So we've had a couple of cars now onto their roof here in qualifying. That is not going to be how they want to handle that race, but it's better to get it out here in qualifying, get it fixed in between. and see where you go from there. Meanwhile, it's your boy Squash at the top with a 36.044 lap time. That is blistering. He's got Muttley, as I said, in the 22 Menards car. He's a two-time winner of this race under other sanctioning body, so I know Muttley is a guy who can put it together here, and if he can get a front row start, these cars are going to have to pit at least once for fuel and tires, and possibly twice, depending on how many green flag laps we see. Hello to all of those watching live on YouTube. Green Game, as Muttley's going to be on his roof for the second time. He's going to have to pull that thing under. Second place driver in the championship. We showed you Cat Guy, the defending champion, the second place driver in the championship last season. Green Gaiman is not here, but that'll get us on Dale the Whale, who is in the wrong car, I believe. Yes, he's in the 22 Menards car. Was obviously in a bit of a rush. I'm not certain. I don't think that is supposed to be in his car. That is also Muttley's car, so it looks like these two are sharing a sponsor this week. Either that or I have maybe I just have the wrong car and I'm speaking out of turn. No, Muttley's in the pits. So that is Dale the Whale in the shared car with Muttley. We'll have to try to distinguish those two here, unless Dale wants to try to get out and get into his proper car. He'll be in the 22. He was third place in the championship last season in the IndyCars. Stats for the season include one win, which I believe came at Texas Motor Speedway. He had 3 total podiums, and as we said, finished third in the championship, 47 points back. He had his share of damage and problems at various times during the season, but he is definitely a frontline contender. He was able to still manage to finish on the season podium despite getting into a couple of wrecks. No, his win, was it at Willow Springs, I believe, or was that My Name is Jeff? Dale had a terrific season last year and is definitely a championship contender. We'll look up those results, see where Dale's victory was last season. Yes, it was at Willow Springs. That was the one where he lapped the field. Got the win. As I said, 3 total podiums in all. Ignore Flux on the bottom. There are 14 cars on the track, 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in qualifying. And these guys are trying to pack up. As he said, you're going to see wildly fluctuating lap times in qualifying, not just for the fact that some guys are getting the right draft and some guys aren't, but for the fact that there's about 50 more horsepower. There's a higher turbo boost in qualifying trim for the Indy cars than there is in race trim. These cars will lose about 50 horsepower, possibly even up to 75 in the oval configuration heading into the race. So you're going to see a little bit of difference. You're going to see the fastest speeds here. These cars are going to be a little bit slower in race trim, but nonetheless, they are going to be blindingly quick. And we're just going to try to make sense of it all, because really, you're going to have to cruise. Everything's going to come down to when you make your pit stop. Can you make a clean pit stop on and off the pit lane as fast as possible? And obviously, as you've seen here in qualifying, one small mistake and you're looking at ending up on your roof. And now with the wave around rule, I'll explain that a little to the viewers who are new to it. Cars that are a lap down when a caution is called can take a wave around and get a lap back. However, they will not be able to pit under the yellow, and they must restart at the back of the line, so they'll gain no track position, whoever plays that. But like I said, one pit stop you're going to see at least, and it could be 2 if you have enough green flag. Let's see, we've got a 2-space grid penalty on Haynes, which is unfortunate because he's moving up. We also got Darnell. He's making his debut here in the series tonight after debuting in the ASC last night. We'll discuss those guys a bit, but Haynes' dad moving up with a 37.28 up into 5th. He's going to lose those positions, though, once we head back onto the track. 5.5 minutes to go. Still some time to get out there in new tires and a light fuel load with a partner and move yourself up to try to pick up that bonus lap, as it is still It's Your Boy Squash in the number 11 Hydroxy Cut Chevy, currently on the top of the table. The number 7 is Survivor. Trying to check his point standings last season. I believe he had made a start in this series. I don't have him on the final standings, as I believe he had pulled out. But Survivor, no, Survivor's Best Gamer. That's right. Got him confused with the other guy. That's my problem. Survivor was the driver who was 7th in the championship last season. Did not get on the podium, but was very consistent. I apologize. But a 7th place run for Survivor. He's in the number 7 Chevrolet, I believe. His teammate Green Gaiman was the championship runner-up last season. Green Gaiman, of course, under disciplinary issues, unable to start this week. I believe he had problems with the overlords at the PlayStation Network. But yeah, the number 7 Doom car, and I think Survivor could be a possibility. He had a near win in the season finale last season at the Texas Motor Speedway until he sustained some late damage. So we'll have to see if he can put something together this season. He's all the way up to 3rd here in qualifying with a 36.5. And I fully expect him to be a contender this season. He's had a season under his belt in these cars. He's one of the veteran drivers now. Knows what he's looking for. Let's take a look at the debutante here. That is Darnell. He made his Flux debut this week, made a GT1 start over in Europe, hopped on the corporate jet to make it back to the American Tour. He ran here in the Daytona round of the American Sports Car Championship last night, and looking to get some seat time. He's currently near the back of the field here, but just made a good account of himself. He didn't get in the way, got some laps. He's hitting the wall right there, and that's what you got to watch for. If you feel that car stepping out on you in the corner, getting off the throttle is the only way to save it. Because if you start turning harder, you're going to activate the oversteer. It's going to get the back end light, and you're going to end up smacking the wall or looping the car. So he did a good job of not banging that thing up worse and getting down on the apron here towards the end of qualifying. Looked like a pro, and that's what you want to see. He's a new driver here. The Flux is right there. He catches that banking, and that is a tough situation as he wisely pulls it back into the pits. But that can happen to the best of the drivers. We've seen it more than once here. We have another debutante. He is in the number 28 DHL car sponsorship that Survivor wore last season. Obviously, his 7th place points finish was not enough for DHL to want to renew with Survivor, so they went ahead, and that is Mad Dog. He is an American who resides in the UK, coming back over here for the Flux American Tour to run in the IndyCars tonight. And he, by his own admittance, said he was going to have to get used to running here on the oval. I don't believe he's put in a lap with a drafting partner, but maybe that he's looking to start at the back. Daytona is not like a Long Beach or a Willow Springs where we'll be next week. Where you start really doesn't make much of a difference. You just need to worry about where you finish and be smart. Stay out of, you know that there's a very good chance that we'll see what we call here in the States the big one. 4, 5, 6 cars getting heavy damage at one time. If that takes place, you're going to have a bunch of cars getting repaired, and you're going to have 7 or 8 cars taking a restart and 2 separate packs running. And that's really what will happen if guys are impatient or you see guys get into the wall like that. So I think you're going to see guys try to be smart about it, but I would not be surprised to see some time under the yellow here. Would not be surprised at all. Get some chase cam time here on whoever is behind. Oh, as Jiggly goes down onto the apron. Ooh, and he's going to catch the wall and take off the nose of that car. At the moment, you're looking at the 11 Hydroxycut car of It's Your Boy Squash. And he is your current leader. Let's see how many more laps we get. Does anybody have something for him on the pole here? He comes across for the last time. Let's see if anybody else has something, as they are wrapping it up here. Most of the guys in the pits. Muttley's come across. Survivor has a shot, but by himself, I don't see that happening right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying is complete. So here is your starting lineup for round 1 of the 2021 Season 2 Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship at Daytona International Speedway. In the Hydroxycut number 11, It's Your Boy Squash with a 36.044 will take the bonus point. He will start on the pole, starting on the outside of the front row. Muttley 56 with a spectacular run in the number 22 Menard Chevy. Starting third will be Survivor in that Doom number 7 car. He'll be on the inside of row 2. Starting fourth on the outside of row 2 is the Aussie Mark C in the preferred car in the blue, another Chevy. Starting fifth will be Dale the Whale, third place in the championship last season, the winner last night here in the ASC race. He will start on the inside of row 3, and on the outside of row 3, O'Brien 79 in the number 3 Pennzoil car. Starting 7th will be Daz, the veteran driver, and he will be flanked on the outside of row 4, 8th place qualifier Pogo Mojo in the Boy Scouts Honda. Haynes 66 Dad takes a two grid place penalty, but has a solid qualifying run. Ends up, I believe he might be bumped back to 11th, has him in 9th here. Qualifying in 10th was Jiggly Jello, 4th place in the points last season. We'll look for him to move up here in this race. Starting 11th on the inside of row 5 will be OGR Cat Guy, the defending series champion. He will be flanked by Tidro in the green and black Honda. Darnell will make his series debut starting on the inside of row 7 in the multicolored car, and in 14th, also in his series debut in the DHL Honda, Mad Dog 456, and we are set to go. Retire and spectate, hit the monitor. We're going to get onto the chase cam pretty quickly here at the start at Daytona. I'll be heading right to the back of the pack because that's the best place to see what's going on here when they are all together. But it's been that kind of season, or it was that kind of season, I should say, last season, where even if you got banged up, if you stayed on it, stayed smart with the car, you would be able to catch back up. Green Game in 2nd place finish in the points there. But Cat Guy, OGR Cat Guy in the 61 PureTech car, won 4 races out of 7 last season, took home the IndyCar Championship going away. We'll see if anybody's got something for him in the first of 8 rounds here on the Flux IndyCar Championship on the Flux American Tour. Check us out at fluxmotorsport.com. Flux Motorsport on Discord. The best in sim racing. Last second changes, repairs. You definitely saw some guys got their crew making last second repairs after qualifying. But 45 minutes, as we said, should see in the neighborhood of 150 laps, depending on how many caution laps we have. And there will be some delays if there are cautions. These guys are going to have to show some patience to get down to the finish of the race. You don't know how this is going to go. He said winners last season was the inaugural season winners. Cat Guy with 4 wins. Dale had a win. Mick Toasty, who is not in the series, had a win. And Bruce Law, who made a at-large start and took a win at Laguna Seca, not here. So just 2 winners from last season in the lineup. These guys are running out of time. All right. We lost somebody. Lost somebody right off the... All right, they're lining up a little bit of a loose lineup, and the green flag flies. I'm going to wonder if we are going to see a full start, and we do. A couple of cars straggling back, but it's your boy Squash on the inside, Muttley on the outside, and they take the start. We did lose one car. Not sure who that was. We'll try to get a report from one of our viewers, but let's get on to the chase cam. There's Cat Guy. Where's the separation at? Not too bad. On board with Cat Guy coming from the middle of the pack in 7th place. As you see somebody getting into the wall, that's Survivor. These cars bounce around quite a bit at 230 miles an hour on the bumpy Daytona International Speedway. Looks like Mad Dog, Hayes, Jiggly Jello all fell out of the draft early on. They're just going to have to stay on it, though, because there's a long way to go as these cars come packing up, riding on the fastest drone camera in the world. On Cat Guy, who gets up into the wall a little bit. Let's see what Ty Joe's seeing behind him. All right, back to the front. Oh, we got a big accident, big accident. We got a number of cars going around. We've got Daz. Looks like Cat Guy took some of that. Jiggly Jello appears to have taken some of it. Dale the Whale is in the infield. Daz is up on the wall. He's lost significant bits, as has Survivor. Someone came off the wall right there in the middle of the pack. You saw them nick the wall, lose the back end, and came right into the front of the field. And that is going to bring us underneath our first caution flag here, just 3 laps in. As they are slowly lining it up, you're going to want to see them get a little bit more separation, maybe 2 or 3 car lengths between them when they are underneath caution, so that there's no chance of rear-ending each other. The marshals will be given the instructions for the guys to spread out. We want to see a minimum of 2 car lengths between them, but here we've got these cars coming back around as fast as they can. They might even be crab walking here to an extent, and it looks to me like Daz has a severe problem. He was caught right in the middle of that wreck, as he has no wing and is on the grass on the infield trying to get that car going. Dale the Whale's already in the pits. Will be starting at the tail end of the line anyway. Survivor also making his way in. And as they come around, we expect to see the pit lanes opening. Dale and Survivor already in, making repairs. They're going to lose a lap right there. Let's hope that Daz can get himself around, as he appears to have severe damage. He's crab walking that thing, and looks like he's going to lose a lap right there to the lead of the field. Everybody's going to be coming down the pit lane. However, not everybody has to take service. Everyone will come down the pit lane. We'll see who, if anybody, decides to stop. But every car will be heading down the pit lane, and some cars will come through. All right, let me get onto the chase cam so we can see. Looks like top 4 cars, most of this pack, all deciding to pull through. We got a couple of cars making repairs. These are guys making repairs at the back. So I'm going to say we've got Cat Guy, Dale the Whale, Daz, and Survivor all making much needed repairs, as they got caught up in the very first fracas of the season, and may not be able to get back in time for the start. We'll have to see as they sort them out coming into turn 2. But that's what can happen at Daytona. Not sure, caught it out of the corner of the screen there, as you viewers would have seen it. There was somebody got up into the wall. As we said, if you don't get off the throttle when that thing starts to step out, you are going to be in severe trouble. So they should be ready to go green this time by, as the back 4 who took on the damage are still well back, and it may be just 9 cars, taking the start. It's your boy Squash, Muttley in second, O'Brien in third, Pogo Mojo fourth, Taijo rounding out your top five as they will come to green. We're going to get on board with Jiggly Jello, who is, I believe, the last car in the line. Cat Guy's coming out, but I don't know if he will make it around in time to get to the start, as they should be going green this time by. Bringing it up to around 75 miles an hour. Jiggly Jello, the back of the line of the car, is still out here running in ninth, and we'll see how he takes off on the start. So a little action there early on, 5 minutes in at Daytona. And we are green, green, green. To stay on board with Jiggly at the back of the line. Somebody catching a cone right there. And if they're smart, they're gonna learn from what they just saw. Get ourselves back up towards the front, see what we can see on the track side. As it looks like Squash has Muttley and O'Brien. Dale the Whale, who is a lap down, probably 2 laps down at this point, is in that mix as well. Somebody got up into the wall. That might be Dale the Whale. So things not going well for him here early on, but it's your boy Squash holding himself out here in the early going, trailed by Muttley in the 22, O'Brien in the number 3. We got some penalties here already. Pogo Mojo with a 10-second penalty. That could be absolutely crushing here. Not sure what that's for. Some type of pit violation, perhaps. Let's see where Pogo is at. Running just behind the main pack. He's going to have to get this backpack to catch up to him. We'll take a look at how this second pack is looking. Pogo Mojo in fourth, a couple seconds back. He's got Dale the Whale right behind him, a lap down. Then Taijo, and then Mad Dog, who making his debut. Speeding into the pit lane. That is a brutal penalty at 10 seconds, especially if you get a late caution. You might win the race, but you'd finish last. So a very tough penalty there for Pogo early on here, considering last night's race where he failed to finish, had a DNF with mechanical trouble in the American Sports Car Championship. That is a tough situation to be in. Second pack trying to get lined up to try to catch up to the leaders, but they are not running as fast as it's your boy Squash, Muttley, and O'Brien are out front. I'm wondering what's going on here with Daz. We've still got repairs going on. I'm hoping he's not parking the car, but he might just be making severe repairs here right off the bat. There's a bit of a separation back to these guys. We'll take a look at where Jiggly Jello is. This is the, say it's a battle, but it's not really the battle. It's the pack here, 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's Haynes in the 83 black and yellow car. That's Darnell in the multicolored car on the inside. That's Jiggly Jello in the black and the green number 20. They're running 7 seconds off the lead, trying to get hooked up, get themselves in a position to get back towards the front as well. Cat Guy, meanwhile, is falling 15 seconds back in 10th outside of the draft, but really just needs to be patient. Once he gets a drafting partner, get another caution, perhaps he'll be able to move his way back up. Dale the Whale running a couple laps down with the main pack. Survivor already well down in the order. So let's get back to the front of the queue here where It's Your Boy Squash, Muttley, and O'Brien have a bit of a breakaway going. And I believe we have another caution coming out. I see the cars slowing down. Let's see if we can find out where the action is. And it is Mad Dog on his roof here in his debut. We didn't catch that wreck, but that is a devastating. I wonder if he has his reset button. If he does not have his reset button on, that is going to be the last we will see of him today. But Mad Dog ending up on his roof. We lose another car right here. As it appears he is stuck on the track. Caution is on the speedway. And he may not have his reset button to get himself going. They are meanwhile slowed down at the front of the track while the marshals sort out whatever happened there. Sometimes you get in, he may have a reset button, and sometimes you get in there and it'll glitch you and stick you into the track, and that may be what happened. We just lost Mad Dog. We've lost a few cars now. We had 13 starters, and we're now down to 11. A lot of technical issues on the network over the past few weeks, but that is the second caution of the day here. 12 laps and a little more than 11 minutes into this race. It's Your Boy Squash leading from the pole. That leaves 11 cars. We've got a couple of wave arounds here. We'll likely see Dale the Whale and Survivor taking laps back, as Dale the Whale and Survivor are eligible for the wave around. Dale is on the outside. It looks like to me like he's waiting to go. Survivor, I'm not sure. He may just be waiting to pit. But I believe Dale the Whale up there on the outside because he is going to take the wave around and get one of his 2 laps back. So that caution came to an advantage for him, as long as he doesn't have any damage to that car. As we said, all cars will pull down the pit lane under the caution, but they do not have to stop and take service. They can choose to not make a pit stop and go for the track position. I don't know that we'll see that here at this point in the race early on. I know Pogo Mojo, with that 10-second penalty coming into the pits, just wants to see green flag racing. He needs to get separation to try to build up time as Dale the Whale goes around to take his wave around. Let's get on the chase cam and see which guys come in and make a stop. It's Your Boy and Muttley. We got some guys laid out. They both appear to be going through. Ty Joe's made a pit stop. Got these two side by side here. Pogo and that's going to be that's Ty Joe and Darnell. We missing somebody on the board. We may be having some glitchy stuff going on here on the board. But Dale the Whale took the wave around. He will be starting at the back of the queue as the wave around car. These guys now catching up. And that is going to put 10 cars back on to the lead lap. Survivor's now going to be 1 lap down, but that's how the wave around works. If you get the car running, you can get back despite that big wreck and get back on the lead lap. So Dale the Whale will be much closer. He might still be 1 lap down, pardon me, as he might have been 2 laps down, but you did get 1 lap back here, and that is worth its weight in gold. All right, so let's take a look once again at our order from the pole. It's Your Boy Squash has led most of the way. He is followed by Muttley in the 22 Menards car. Pogo Mojo sitting in third in the number 19 Boy Scouts Honda. Ty Joe with the number 88 green and black Chevy, I believe, maybe a Honda. He is in, let's check it out. He is in a Honda that is in 4th place, and Haynes' dad in that 83 Ganassi car has moved up to 5th. So 11 cars on the track out of our 13 starters. I am going to go to the back of the queue once again on the chase for the restart. As 13 laps in, coming up on 30 minutes. 15 minutes in, we've had 2 caution flags here in the early part of the race. for major incidents as they hit the line and are going green here at Daytona. It's hard to restart from the back to know when you can hit it, and so Dale and Survivor losing a little bit of ground right there. But let's go ahead and jump on to Jiggly Jello in the number 20 Chevrolet, as he's going to be trying to move up. He's got Darnell on his inside. Darnell managing to stay off of him. Nice drive in there as those two went side by side. Great job by Darnell to save that car as they string out, try to put some laps in, as we are now 15 minutes in here at the Daytona International Speedway. As I said before, Muttley running there in second. He's a two-time winner of this event under other sanctioning. He knows how to get around here at Daytona. We'll talk a little about the IndyCar series coming up. Next week, the IndyCars will be at Willow Springs. The American Tour really will be at Willow Springs next week, along with the American Sports Cars, GTEs. That will be next Saturday night. They then go for the traditional race at Long Beach. Then it's the big show at Indianapolis. We got somebody around, and that is Darnell. I don't know if we've got a caution coming out, if there was contact there, or did he lose it on his own and get it going. I do not see the field slowing down as of yet. It looks like he might have just looped it on his own and got it going, but he's had his problems early, but he's done a great job of staying out of the way when he had a problem. It looks like he managed to make no contact, will stay on the lead lap and get going. So good job there for Darnell of keeping that from being a problem. But once again, it's Pogo, it's your boy Squash, Muttley, and Pogo in that top three now, who have broken away from the rest of the pack immediately behind them. And that is a very big pack of cars being led by Cat Guy and O'Brien, the two veterans in fourth and fifth. They're going to see if they can match lap for lap with the guys up front, but the guys up front have clean air they're running through and fewer cars around them, so they might just be able to lap faster for that very reason. We'll have to see if tire wear might become a factor as well later on in the race. As we said, we anticipate pit stops here. Obviously the caution flags can change that up, but I still anticipate seeing these guys being forced to make a pit stop, as right now they're just trying to deal with that dirty air. Pogo losing some ground up front. He's going to come back into the clutches of that last pack as Pogo, Cat Guy, and O'Brien can hook up together. Those are three veterans who've done a lot of driving together, and they may be able to pull something out. I'll get back on the chase cam here at the end of the field with Haynes' dad in the 83 as we see some contact there between Ty Joe and Jiggly Jello. They managed to save it. These cars, dirty air can get you so fast, but this main pack from third on back through eighth, still very much in it. Somebody scraping the wall, and that I believe is Survivor, who's already laps down. Let's hope Haynes' dad didn't lose the draft here. He still appears to be within them, but the speeds these guys are turning. We'll take a look inside the cockpit, as good a time as any to get on board with Haynes' dad. 237 miles per hour here on the high banks. And he's being smart. You see him right there getting off the throttle a little bit. He knows he's within the draft. He knows they're not getting away from him. He doesn't have to be full throttle through the corner over the bumps. And Haynes is showing a lot of patience here in his first full season run in the Flux IndyCar Championship. Falling back probably a little more than his taste, as he's almost half a second back, but as you can see, he's catching right back up. I think he's got this right where he wants it. He's just waiting to see how the strategies play out, how the cautions play out. And there's something going on up front as Muttley, he lost the front draft. May have had a bobble or something. He's going to get chewed up by the backpack, and what that's going to mean is that It's Your Boy Squash's lead is going to be gone, because that group is going to catch up with him, and they are going to come up right back after him as Muttley falls back into the clutches. That's Dale the Whale in his sister car, who is still one lap down, trying to either get a caution or get around It's Your Boy Squash. But that main pack now is right there as we are working lap 21 here at Daytona, just about 20 minutes into the 45-minute feature race here in the Flux Motorsport 2021 Season 2 IndyCar Championship. Check us out at fluxmotorsport.com. Register by the Discord. We have merchandise, all the swag you could want. We also have special discounts and deals through our affiliates and partners. This is the place for championship sim racing, Flux Motorsport at fluxmotorsport.com. Get some more cockpit time. We pay for these cameras with these people. I want to get in here on somebody that I know what they're looking for, so we're going to give Pogo a try here in the number 19 Boy Scout Honda. Pogo, a veteran driver of these cars, did not get a win last season here in the Indy cars. He was working on the broadcast for much of the season. I don't believe, I'll double check it here, but I don't believe he, we may have had something happen right there. Yep, somebody's on their roof, and that is Cat Guy on his roof. We had contact. That is going to be the third caution flag of the race here at the 24-minute mark. He gets it going, but he's got severe damage. That's Cat Guy right there. And is that Dale the Whale? No, that is not Dale. That is Muttley. It's Cat Guy and Muttley, two of the veterans and the possible front runners here, both getting into that fracas. And it looks like Daz is finally out. That was who we lost with that big wreck. He had damage too severe to go on, but it looks like Muttley, who's been running up front all race, he's got that thing crab walking, and that is going to mean severe repairs, and that may take out his chances of winning here tonight, I should say, at Daytona, as we are under caution yet again. Cat Guy's not looking any better either. Trying to get it into gear. He may have a problem with the gearbox, and that is entirely possible. He is just limping it around right here. He is going very, very slow, 30 miles an hour in second gear, just trying to get that car around. So that is severe damage that Cat Guy and Muttley both have. Muttley going through the grass to try to stay out of the way and save time, but that might come back to haunt him if he loops it. These guys are going to be coming down the pit lane with the pits opening up. All the cars, as we said, will come down. Not all of them they are not required to take service. And we're going to see the damaged cars obviously come in early, but that is our third full course caution flag. Daz checking in from the pit lane says after 5 minutes of repairs, he still had steering damage, went out, could not get the car going, and so had no choice but to park it. That's a shame for Daz, one of the veterans of the Indy cars. We'll look forward to seeing him back next week at Willow Springs. Muttley finally manages to make it into the pit lane here. As you see, he's going to be getting that repaired, but that could take a while, and so the war of attrition continues, losing a bit of green flag racing here under the caution. These guys need to get single file on the inside. Those are the wave around cars are going to be allowed to go as soon as they pull into the pit lane. It looks like Dale the Whale and Survivor are each going to take a lap back. Dale doesn't appear to have damage, nor does Survivor, so those two are going to get a lap back here underneath the caution as the rest of the field comes in. Let's get on the chase cam and see if we can see who, if anyone, makes service, as we're on board with Darnell right now. All right, Taijo's hitting the pits. Taijo hitting the pits. O'Brien hitting the pits. It's your boy hitting the pits. Looks like everybody is actually going to get service here. Muttley's still getting service, but yes, everybody in the pit lane. We're going to have to see who makes it out first, and it looks like It's Your Boy might have been held, and that might be O'Brien who's going to come out with the lead off of the pit lane. And it looks like it is O'Brien jumping some spots on the pit under caution, as he is going to jump up to the lead to be followed by Taijo. then Pogo. It's Your Boy Squash falls from the lead all the way back to 4th place, so he had a bit of a slow pit stop. As we are working lap 25 here at Daytona International Speedway, Cat Guy and Muttley still on the pit lane getting serviced. Dale and Survivor are moving to the back of the pack there. Dale is now on the lead lap, having taken 2 wave arounds. Survivor is now just 1 lap down. So Dale is back on the lead lap. 8 cars on the lead lap here with 20 minutes to go. And we've got quite a few drama stories. How about that pit stop under yellow? It's Your Boy Squash falls from 1st to 4th. O'Brien Taijo leapfrog from mid-pack up to the front 2. That could be a storyline towards the end here. Cat Guy and Muttley taking on damage that they are still repairing. That is definitely a storyline. And Dale the Whale getting on his roof early on and coming out with repairs, taking 2 wave around laps, and he is back in contention with 19 laps to go. We're going to lose a bit of green flag racing from the cautions, but I think we're going to go with the chase cam here once again on the restart with the last car on the lead lap, and that is Dale the Whale, who is in the 22 Menards car like Muttley, as they're sharing a sponsor for today's race. Dale now back on the lead lap, and he gets a great start, goes right by Haynes' dad, blows right past him. We'll see what he does as he comes up now on Darnell. Quick check of the penalty and timing situation. Darnell with a 50-second penalty. That's got to be for excessive speeding in pit lane. That's in essence a 1-lap penalty. So take Darnell out of any serious contention here. Pogo's got the 10-second penalty. Darnell now the missus over here doing some color commentary saying Darnell doesn't need that lap penalty if he wants to win. Well, he doesn't, but he got it. So that's where it is. And I don't know what, we'll have to check with Darnell after the race, see what that penalty was for, but a 1-lap penalty, probably a pit lane violation. It just happened as they came off the pit lane, as he's fallen back to 7th. Meanwhile, back up front, didn't take It's Your Boy Squash long. I probably should have caught some of that. But It's Your Boy Squash going from 4th all the way back up to 1st, just like that. He has a rocket ship here at Daytona this season. And he is right back in the lead. Dale the Whale hanging on with the lead pack of 6. Muttley is back on the track, but looks to be 2, possibly 3 laps down. Cat Guy still getting repaired, and that is going to hurt his championship defense chances. The reigning Flux IndyCar champion having a tough opening round here under the lights at Daytona. Want to get some cockpit time. Haynes' dad falling back a ways. Let's get on board with Taijo in the cockpit of that number 83 Honda, as he is at the back of this line, running 2 seconds behind the leaders, and he is just trying to stay with Dale the Whale and Jiggly Jello. Excuse me. No reason to panic here. You can see how quickly you gain the draft back. You don't need to be all over somebody's tail, especially at full throttle going over those bumps. You can very easily lose control of the car, as we've seen a couple times here tonight already in the 2 cautions. So Taijo here, he's a newer driver to the Flux American Tour and the IndyCar Series as he gets up high, but he is a Flux veteran on the European Tour, and we are very glad to have him. We had him last season here for the American Sports Car Championship. He came back last night and ran here on the Daytona road course, and he's now back here in the IndyCars and is really making a name for himself here on the Flux American Tour. He already has over in the EU. And right now he's just staying back there, trying to give, just staying just within the draft. And they're running laps at 38.3, which is faster than the front two. As O'Brien's fallen back a second and a half from It's Your Boy Squash, who just has a rocket ship of a car. We're going to have to see how he's doing out front by himself without any draft. Maybe picking up a tiny bit from that lapped car from Muttley in front of him, but what kind of lap times is he pulling on his own? Does he have that fast of a rocket ship? Runs a 38.4 on his own, and the rest of that pack is going to be running 38.3s and better. They are going to reel him in, as Dale the Whale has come all the way up to second. All the reason now to get back on to the cockpit or the chase cam rather, of Jiggly Jello at the end of this line, as that group of 5 cars is now together looking to run down It's Your Boy Squash, as we are inside of 15 minutes working lap 32, more than 75 miles in the book here in round 1 of the 2021 Season 2 Flux IndyCar Championship. These guys are just trying to stay together to run down that leader. He runs a 37.8, but he's got a drafting partner now with Muttley. And that is what's going on there. He's able to pick up that lap car, and that is enabling him to stretch out that lead. These guys need him to be on his own. And if they can get him on his own, then they will be able to run him down. But as long as he's got that lap car of Muttley running with him, he's going to have every opportunity to extend that, or to maintain that lead and possibly extend it. And there he is out front with the lapped car of Muttley running behind him, hoping to get some laps back, and he's still turning lightning quick laps and extending that lead now to 3 seconds. So It's Your Boy Squash took the pole. He's led the most laps here today so far and had that bad pit stop, no problem. Came out from 4th, shot right up back to 1st place, and he's extending that lead right now. As long as he's getting that draft from Muttley, I don't think that they're going to be able to gain up on him, but we will see. All right, back to that second pack. O'Brien in the yellow number 3 Pennzoil car. That's Pogo directly behind him in the Boy Scout number 19, followed by Taijo in the white and green car. That is Jiggly Jello, who's now at the back end of that pack, as there are 4 of them together now running 3 seconds off the lead with 12 minutes to go. He's trying to find that extra speed. That last lap, It's Your Boy ran a 38.4, so he may have lost the draft that Muttley was giving him. Dale the Whale and Survivor have each hit the pits. Now maybe they're making a pit stop because they feel that they have to make it to the finish. I don't know. I don't know how much fuel these guys have and what they, or whether that's enough to make it to the finish without a yellow. We're just going to have to see. But now those lap times finally coming down without drafting help for It's Your Boy, and we're going to see if that second pack can catch up to him and make a race of this, as we are inside of 12 minutes, about to complete lap 36, closing in on the 100-mile mark. Had 3 full course cautions so far. Dale and Survivor made what I'd have, unless they got banged up, I'd have to imagine, and judging by the time that they were in there, that looks like a scheduled pit stop. So maybe they needed fuel. We'll have to see if they can get themselves around. They are a lap down at the moment under the cycle of pit stops, however. All right, let's get back on board with Taijo running in 5th place, as they are back with, that's Muttley directly in front of them, I believe, yes. And they are running side by side, and that is not helping them, because they are lapping at the same speed, if a little bit slower, than It's Your Boy Squash. Doing that as Taijo's kissing the wall, and that may have been enough for him. I don't know that he damaged the car, but he has certainly lost the draft from getting up there too high on the outside. That's the danger of getting that cushion of air from the cars on the inside, and that may have knocked him back and out of the draft as he falls back quickly. put the camera here on Pogo in third place as they've got Muttley, the lap car, with them. But they are losing ground to Squash, who's running by himself. He's consistently running mid-38s, 38.4s. These guys need to put in some laps 2 and 3/10 a second faster if they are going to take a shot at catching up to him. We'll try to see if we can see where the difference is. Running in front with O'Brien, he's getting to about 2:35 at the end of the straightaway. That could tell us a little bit about the trap speed. 38.4 for Squash there. 39.1. They are definitely losing ground. There's too many of them together, and that dirty air is slowing them up. And Squash has a car that is hooked up and is allowing him to continue lapping at that pace. So coming in on 9 minutes, we are working lap 40. It will be 100 miles complete here at Daytona at the conclusion of this lap. And this may turn into simply a battle for the podium, the way that Squash is driving away. He has had clearly the fastest car here tonight. Yeah, let's try to get on the chase cam, see what we're seeing. 2:38 at the end of the straightaway. We'll try to get a trap speed here on them. Give it to you in the cockpit here. Squash running solo. He's getting up to about 2:35 at the end of the straightaway. So these guys are definitely outdoing that, but they're not outdoing it in the corner. Going 2:30, 2:25, 2:26. Okay, that's O'Brien. Let's see what we're seeing here with Squash. He is holding 230 miles an hour through the corner, running in that gear, and that is the difference. He has a faster car in the corners than these other guys. It may be a simple case of the right tweak of downforce, but whatever he's doing, he is turning laps faster than these guys in the draft because he's quicker through the corners. I'd have to believe that's a camber, that's a camber setup. Possibly a perfected camber setup, but whatever it has allowed him to continue to lap faster than these guys through the corners. And this is going to send a number of teams back to the drawing board with their oval package. I can tell you that, with 2 more races on the speedways coming up in Indianapolis and Texas in the season finale. You're going to see that because Squash is just turning these laps. That speed in the corner. He's given away a little bit on the straightaway by himself, but he's only dropping to 229 in the corner. Now right there, 227, 226, he's getting a little loose. That's where that time is going. That time is in the corner. It's definitely a chassis issue. He's got a car that's not bouncing as much, I would say. Let's watch him through the corner here yet again. And I think he's just got a softer setup. I think he's got a car that is rolling through these bumps easier coming off the corner. It's right at the exit of turns 2 and 4. Right where those bumps get the worst, and he's only going 229. He's not dropping down to 227, and you're not seeing that car bounce around. Taija working his way back there, back to that second group. Darnell is, see where he's at. He might have the leader coming up on him. Yes, he does, in fact. It's your boys coming up on Darnell and Cat Guy. Is that Cat Guy? Yes, it is. So that may be the kiss of death for the rest of these guys, or maybe he's not going to handle as well in the traffic. As we are just about to hit 5 minutes. At 5 minutes to go, it will be green to the finish. No more cautions. Managed to have just 3 full course yellows. Not a bad total. They were definitely plot points here in this race, however. As that is it. These guys now are going to be racing for position. It's your boy Squash. He's 8 seconds out in front, and he has just ran away from this field. But it's now going to come down to 3 cars. Muttley in there at the very tail end is a few laps down. It's going to come down to O'Brien, Pogo, and Jiggly Jello. 2 of them will be on the podium, second, third. 1 of them will be fourth, and this is going to come down to be a definite battle for position. We've also got a battle for position working out here for 5th place between Ty Joe right there in the green and white car and Haynes' dad, who is right there behind him. I don't know if he's got, with Ty Joe has that draft, I don't know that he's going to have enough to catch up to him, but it's looking like he might. All right, back on board, looking at Pogo in the 19 car running in third. These guys are going to get down to the nitty gritty. They know it's green to the finish now, coming up on lap 50. And they're finally making up some ground on Squash. He ran a 40.292 that last time. I'm wondering if he just slowed down while he was dealing with traffic. That is most likely the situation. Let's get back to that battle. We'll put it on Jiggly so we can see any moves in the middle here. As you're looking at the battle for second place. But Pogo, as we said, he has a 10-second penalty. I've got to remind myself. Pogo's working with that 10-second penalty entering pit lane, so that is going to hurt him. He is, in essence, 15 seconds back, so he's really fighting to stay in third. Pogo needs to stay more than 10 seconds in front of Ty Joe, or he will fall all the way back to 6th place with that penalty. So Pogo's still fighting, but he's fighting to stay 10 seconds in front of Ty Joe in 5th. That means that O'Brien and Jiggly look like they're safely on the podium. We'll just have to see which one gets which one. But Pogo can't let up and let them battle because he needs to stay 10 seconds in front of Ty Joe, and he is right at that edge right now. But he seems to be aware of that, lets them go out in front as they're going to battle for it with 2 minutes to go. Finally putting up some laps on It's Your Boy Squash, but I think it's too little too late. As we're nearing in on 2 minutes remaining here at the Daytona International Speedway. Remind you, tomorrow night, a special exhibition. The Flux Motorsport will have a special stock car challenge race here at the Daytona International Speedway. That's on the number 1969 Chevrolet Camaros. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UK time. And we will be running here with the stock cars right here on the high banks, completing the traditional opening Daytona weekend of the Flux Motorsport American Tour. One minute, we're getting real close to the green, I'm sorry, to the white flag here. There's It's Your Boy by himself. That lead is starting to finally drop. I don't know that it's enough. He's losing about half a second. I really don't think it's enough, but he's finally starting to lose some time. The question is, when is Jiggly Jello going to make that move? Now Jiggly, I'm reminded of last season in the stock car race. He made a move in the last lap on me and managed to take home third place. And Haynes' dad disconnecting, blowing his motor at the end, as does Darnell. That is unfortunate. Those guys were going to finish and get points. And then maybe right, Green Gaiman is saying there might be a tire issue. And I don't know if they're going to get around for another lap. He's going to be hoping that they don't make it another lap. It's Your Boy Squash appears to be slowing down. He might be running low on fuel. He is not going to be able to stretch this out. He is going to take the white flag this time by, and that lead is evaporating. So we've got big drama here at Daytona. Squash having a fuel issue. He's down to 5 liters, I should say, of fuel, holding just a 2-second lead. He is on it as hard as he can be. He might have deliberately let that gap go down so that he could save some fuel, and now knows that they're coming and is going to get back on it. I really don't think they have the time to get to him. Meanwhile, Jiggly onto the outside, O'Brien going to the inside. These guys battling for position. Taijo looks like he's close enough to take that spot from Pogo regardless, but here they come down to the line. It's going to be It's Your Boy Squash across the line. O'Brien's going to hold on right there for second place, but there is our guy. It's Your Boy Squash picks up his first career win in the Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship with a fantastic drive here at the Daytona International Speedway. Let's get to your final results here at Daytona for round 1 of the 2021 Season 2 Flux IndyCar Championship. Picking up his first career win in the Flux IndyCar Championship, It's Your Boy Squash brings it home in that number 11 Hydroxycut car. O'Brien, 79, takes the Pennzoil Chevrolet home in second place. He will be joined on the podium by Jiggly Jello in the number 20 Chevrolet. Terrific drive from those guys. Taijo brings his Honda up to 4th place thanks to the penalties for Pogo Mojo. Pogo ends up in 5th place here tonight, but with some of the damage and some of the problems he's had with the mechanics last night at the American Sports Car Championship, I think he's happy to come home with a finish. 5th place is a solid run at Daytona. Dale the Whale with a solid drive. He brings it back to 6th place after all the problems he had. He was 2 laps down, brings it home in 6th. Survivor's going to drive home in 7th. He was 2 laps down to the leader. Muttley brings it home in 8th with the damage he had, and finishing in 9th, last one to score points, OGR Cat Guy. We were sad to see both Haynes and Darnell blow motors in the waning minutes of that race. Unfortunate for them, but the drivers of the day, It's Your Boy Squash is your winner. O'Brien and Jiggly Jello on the podium. So the opening round of the Flux IndyCar Championship is in the books. These cars and indeed the entire American Tour will be at Willow Springs International Raceway at Willow Springs, California next weekend. But tomorrow, I will remind you, we will have a special Flux exhibition, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UK, the Flux stock cars right here at the Daytona International Speedway. That is an open entry race. Any Flux Motorsport community driver may join. All right, so this is Carlin Hicks going to be signing off for Flux TV. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Congratulations again to It's Your Boy Squash, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.